Hello everybody. Just turning the volume up because I'm not talking too loudly on this live. So I'm just gonna wait for some people to join. Hello to you all. Just to repeat myself, I'm not speaking too loudly because I am in a chapel, or at least the garden of a chapel, and I just want to respect the peace of this place. I'm just coming on really unexpectedly to give you an update about what I call translocational codes. That's not my terminology, that's Lemurian terminology. A couple of years ago, some of you that follow me will remember perhaps an update I did about translocational codes. If you can't remember or you're new, you can just go on YouTube on my channel and look up the video I did on translocational waves, and that tells you a full explanation of what they are. This update is to let you know it's happening. So, you know, the video I did probably 2 years ago, maybe, about translocational waves, explaining all about it. This video today is to let you know it's happening amongst mankind in a conscious way. So not an unconscious way, but an awake, conscious way. I'll show you where I am, just while we're here. May as well share, eh? If I can turn this camera around. Where are we? This is Magdalen Chapel in Glastonbury. I don't know if any of you have ever seen it, but it's a beautiful chapel. It's now called St. Margaret's Chapel, but it used to be called the Magdalen Chapel. Under the rule of the Catholic Church, it was called the Magdalen Chapel. Now it's called St. Margaret's. And I often come here because the energies are extreme mother energies, if we want to put a label to them. It's like being caressed by water when you come here. And it's a tiny chapel tucked away behind the main road. You can't see it from the main road. You wouldn't know it was here. But it's hundreds of years old. Anyway, there's the history lesson. It's short and sweet. So I want to explain what's just happened as I've been sat. I'll show you where I am. Here, I'm sat on a small strip of grass. See, this is me. Tiny strip of grass in a beautiful garden that volunteers have created and maintained. So I'm sat here meditating. My meditation, which has always been TM meditation, it's always been, is now kind of beyond that, if you like. Has been for a long time. So when I meditate, I literally become energy and the vibrations of the energy. My body drops. It's like I literally just become my soul. And so it's moved on from TM, what we call TM meditation. So I'm sat here about half an hour ago. Been here an hour and a half. eyes closed, just on the floor, meditating and being with the vibrations that are coming in and just being that energy. And two ladies sat behind me here on a bench, and they had a baby with them and a 3-year-old toddler, little boy. So I know it sounds like a story. Well, it is, but it's also true because it's just happened. And it ties into translocational waves. So I'm not yakking for the sake of it here. There's a reason. So they came in and the ladies were chatting away behind me as I was in silence. And the baby was sort of crying a little bit. And the 3-year-old boy was running around like kids do, screaming a bit, you know, in excitement and joy, just being a little 3-year-old. But I was in my own state, so none of it bothered me. But I was just aware they were there. And then I just felt a presence right next to me. I could feel the child's breath really close. And it was the 3-year-old boy. So I just allowed it because I was with really the energies inside me, which were very what we call divine mother energies. And so energetically I just accepted him being so close, and I just gave him love being so close, you know, energetically. So I had my eyes closed all this time, didn't open them once, and then I felt a little kiss on my forearm here. And this little boy kissed my arm. I just carried on meditating. And then he stroked my other arm. And then I felt him so close. He literally sat right in front of me. I didn't see him because my eyes were shut. But he sat right in front of me, face to face. Because I could feel his breath on my face. And I was just holding him as the Divine Mother energies, giving him love and safety. And then I thought he was going to kiss me, but he didn't. He wrapped his arms right around my body. His 3-year-old child that I don't know in my humanness. And he just hugged me. All the time I have my eyes shut meditating. So what was all of that about? That's what I want to share. If you find that video, it's about 2 years old, I've no idea to be honest, but it's on YouTube. It's called Translocational Waves. In that video, I explain how there comes a timeline where children pass on energetic code to the adults and vice versa, but it's done consciously. So we can say, you know, that children come up and give us a hug, or they hug their parents, yes. But what I'm talking about is waking divine consciousness aware of itself, aware of what is happening at a higher level beyond the physical reality. And that's what's happened today, is that little boy that is not really a little boy. He's a soul incarnated at this timeline. He passed on code to me. I energetically held him in safety, and I passed code back to him. And I was completely aware of that as it was happening. I stayed with my eyes shut, And then the adults, the ladies, decided to go, and they said they couldn't believe how gentle he was with me, because he was a really energetic 3-year-old bouncing around the place. And they said to each other, did you see how gentle he was with her? And that's exactly how it is. Translocational waves. It's what I was doing at the tour last year with those that joined. It's what I did recently with the energy giving. It's passing on translocational waves. It's code. It's energetic code. It doesn't need to be spoken. You know, to speak code would be to distort the energy of it, because it takes it down a dimension into linear mind, into the speaking. It doesn't need translating. It just needs passing on. But it's the fact that now it's happening with awareness, conscious awareness. So we're aware it's taking place when it's taking place. And I was last year, sure, but I just want you to be aware that the children are doing it in awareness. And they're passing on their old souls, and they're passing on the codes to the adults that, sorry, just checking I'm okay, but the adults that may be awake or maybe not awake. We're all in it together. It doesn't matter the age. So in other words, what I was shown 2 years ago, it was a little boy actually that I was shown 2 years ago. It was literally happened as a vision in front of my eyes. So that vision is now reality, because it was a little boy that I was shown when the Lemurian Council were explaining translocational codes. And then what happens with those codes is they get passed on, and then they get opened up, they get absorbed into the cells, remembering that our cells are becoming crystalline more and more and more, which is why it's such a struggle for everybody right now, because it's a lot of oscillation within the body to absorb and be with. It's a lot of vibration for the cells. So what happens is the codes get passed on, and then the coding, the energetic coding within the crystalline cells, because crystalline holds memory, so you pass on the information into the memory of the cells, and then those crystalline cells will expand at the person's right timing. So we have nothing to do with it, in a way. The human gets out of the way for the soul to pass on to the soul. There's no thought involved. There's no thought needed. There's no words needed. It's just always about allowing the humanness, the personality, to get out of the way. And then just let the energy run through you. Let the energy flow. Try to not resist the energy. And right now, with these incoming waves, we can absolutely work with the energy. Saturday night was the first night of incoming energy where I could just be the soul. And the soul, everybody's soul, this is another bit to tell you. Everybody's soul can work with the incoming energy. So when you can get the human out of the way, get the mind out of the way, the personality out of the way, when you're able to just be the soul, the soul already knows how to harness, and I use that word intentionally, harness the incoming energy that the sun is bringing to the planet and the collective. So there are souls all around the planet that will be doing that just like me, harnessing now at this stage, harnessing the energy of the incoming energies, not just accepting it, not just allowing it, but actually becoming the soul consciousness that intuitively, automatically knows how to work with the incoming energy, and then that incoming energy is absorbed by the soul. There is no human when we're doing this, by the way. There's no human involved. It's like you haven't got a body, and then you will intuitively release that energy from the soul to all, to everyone in your service. And that's what we can do now. Some people, more and more and more. But when you're doing it, there's no thought. There's zero thoughts, zero words, zero brain. It's like you haven't got a body because you've become the soul. And so what's happening on the planet, just to give a bit more information on that, is one by one by one by one, some are becoming less the human and more the soul. The soul will take over. And the soul doesn't think, it doesn't speak. It's energy. It's energy made, it looks like white light. It vibrates, it's always moving, it has patterns within it. But actually what that white light is, it looks like white light, but when because I have these zoom eyes, which I'll explain another time, but I can zoom into each photon light of the soul. And when you see the photon light of each of the soul, each photon reflects back a color of the rainbow. So one photon will reflect back blue, one photon will reflect back pale, pink, yellow, green. Each photon is always moving and vibrating, so it's always reflecting back a different color. But it's white light. It, as a visual, it's white light until you can zoom into the soul and see the photons of it. And then within that, there are patterns, intricate patterns of intelligence, because vibration is intelligent data. Light is intelligent data. It doesn't speak like we speak. It doesn't think with a linear mind, but it is intelligence in a different form. And that's why the soul doesn't speak. It doesn't speak. The human speaks. But the soul is its own intelligence, already connected to God, to Source. And so it operates by that form of intelligence. I'm going to have to go because they're shutting up. I'll show you. He's locking the door. So, what I will do is try and stay on, get my shoes on, and let you know just a little bit of energy update about this timeline for everybody. Is that, sorry, just do my shoes off. It is difficult for most people right now because of the level of energy that's coming onto the planet. People literally are in their own story. The highest thing to do, in my own little opinion, please take it or leave it, is to just stay focused with your own story. Stay focused with your own unfolding of the divinity that you are and always have been. And not interfere with anybody else's, because their empowerment is to get through theirs, just like your empowerment is to get through yours. But the energies are super, super strong. There's a great deal of distraction, which, do you remember two videos ago, I spoke about the great distraction. Yeah, I spoke about that. It's here, and it will come in, present in all shapes and forms to you, to me, to everyone. But you have to realize that this is really you testing you. It's not a test. It's not a horrible thing. It's not a bad test. But it's your consciousness presenting choice to you. And that choice is, shall I focus on the unfoldment of my divinity right now? And really expand into what I've come here to give at soul level? Or shall I be distracted by the illusion, by this and that, him or her, X, Y, and Z of the solid reality, the story, the illusion? It's a huge time for distraction for everybody, and there's always things to learn when you are distracted. There's always beautiful golden gifts within the distractions if you choose to go inward and look at and ask, well, why is this being presented to me right now? Why have I created this right now? I'll try and stay here because I'm not getting chucked out just yet. But why am I presenting this to myself right now? Why has this come up for me? To try and choose the highest choice, because there's a conscious choice and then there's an unconscious choice, and the unconscious choice will come from the mind, the human mind, the brain. And I think I've got to go. And the highest choice will be to bypass that mind, bypass the mind, and go into the heart and listen to the heart. So I'm going to leave it there because you're not going to hear me in a minute because of the traffic on the main road. I'll leave it there. Great time of distraction. Be aware of that. If you know that it's coming, or the distraction, you can just be aware. Okay, this is distraction. What is it trying to teach me? What's my highest choice in this now moment? And if you don't know the highest choice, sit with the not knowing. It's okay not to know. Totally okay not to know. So sit with the not knowing. Okay? If you're supposed to know the answer in any moment, you will know the answer. And sometimes we have questions that we just don't need the answer to. The mind needs to know the answer. The human linear mind needs to know the answer. But your higher consciousness doesn't need to know a thing about that particular story. All it's wanting you to do is evolve and expand and expand. So let's just leave it, okay, with a way of expanding. Let's go back to the breath, okay? Again, if you're new to sort of what I share, and it's just an individual sharing, I'm not here to sort of do anything other than share in case it helps. But if you go to the YouTube channel, there's 2 videos on the sacred breath. Thank you so much. There's 2 videos on the sacred breath, and if they're quite a few years old now, but essentially your power is in your heart center and your awareness of your breath. So it's not to think of breathing as breathing in oxygen. It's to think of breathing as breathing in energy. So not physical, but breathing in energy, and holding that energy in your heart center just for a few seconds, just here, breathing it in, waiting a few seconds, feeling it. It's all about feeling, not thinking. And then expanding that energy out to the whole of your body. And if you do that every day, it will make you it'll help you align, it will help you balance, it will take you away from your thoughts and your brain and incessant thinking. But if you do that as a practice every day because you want to, you expand that energy and it ends up coming out of your skin, and you feel the energy coming out of your skin, and then you expand your field, your energetic field. And then so it goes on and on and on, where you get to, if you choose to, if you want to, if it's your path to, you get to expand that out into a vaster field than just your own sovereign field around you, to the whole of the planet and beyond. But that takes a lot of work and a lot of practice, because it's energy. We're not talking about oxygen here. We're talking about feeling energy. It's all about feeling. It's not about the thoughts and the linear mind. So I'm very conscious of the noise now. I'm going to leave it there. I hope that tiny little update helps somebody somewhere in the world. Just be aware of the distractions all around that are coming into everybody's dream. Why? To present you with choice. What is the highest choice with this distraction, that distraction? And you can guarantee, as soon as you sort of sort one thing out, something else will come. Why? Because you're practicing highest choice. And that highest choice won't be a mind-based decision. It will be from here. And it will be for the whole. It won't be a selfish one person choice. It'll be service. Okay, I'll leave it there, stop waffling. But yes, translocational waves, you know, did I know 2 years ago it would play out in physical reality exactly as shown? No, I didn't. I trusted the information. I understand translocational waves fully, sure, and work with them, sure. But to see it happening in the physical reality, it is so exciting for everybody, for the whole of mankind, because it's just showing you we're doing this together. We're absolutely doing it together. It gets me so excited for everybody. The beauty of giving. That little boy gave. I gave to him from love, sure. But he gave. And you know, it's why his soul is here too. So God bless everybody. I'll leave it there. Look after yourselves and take care. Yeah, one day at a time, one moment at a time. Try not to take on too much, because there's a lot of energy going into your bodies that is being transformed through oscillation into crystalline cells, which is data. It's information that is to be released and released and released at right timing, to yourself or to others. Okay, bye-bye. God bless everybody. Thanks for being here today. And I hope you enjoyed the Magdalene Chapel. Such a beautiful place. Energies are fantastic there. They really are. You always feel held. Okay. God bless. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everyone.